who sat on top of a roof with her dog Sandy, waiting for rescuers as waters rose around her.
Seeing a helpless animal in pain is truly heartbreaking. But how you react when you see an animal in distress says a lot about you as a person. Choosing to help an animal in pain shows that you are one of the few who truly understand and empathize with their suffering. In today's video, we will witness people risking their lives to save animals from untimely death. We will see how a girl stayed on a rooftop for hours during a flood to save her best friend and a fisherman rescuing kittens abandoned in a river by their owner. These stories highlight the incredible compassion and bravery of those who go to great lengths to protect and save animals in need. This turtle, covered in barnacles, approached a boat in distress. Barnacles are small marine crustaceans that attach themselves permanently to other animals. While they are usually harmless individually, a large number of barnacles can cause health issues for a turtle due to the extra weight and interference with its skin and shell. This turtle had a significant number of barnacles attached and needed help. The fisherman on the boat stepped in, carefully removing the barnacles from the turtle's skin. With the barnacles removed, the turtle was able to swim back into the sea with greater ease. In this clip, you can see just how dangerous barnacles can be. A man discovered a small turtle covered in barnacles and promptly picked it up for help. He first removed a crab that had also attached itself to the turtle's shell, then carefully removed the barnacles. Once the turtle was free from its burdens, he released it back into the sea. Fishing nets can be incredibly dangerous, leading to the death of many animals. This turtle found itself entangled in a fishing net and was spotted from afar by a group of boaters. The turtle was in poor condition, with the net, a plastic bottle, and barnacles attached to its shell. It was nearly strangled by the net. The boaters worked diligently for a long time to cut the net away, and finally, they managed to free the turtle. After a thorough rescue effort, the turtle swam away into the deep ocean, unharmed and free. Fawns are delicate creatures, and this one found itself in trouble when it tried to cross a gap in a door and got stuck. The fawn appeared to be in pain, but a compassionate man came to the rescue. He carefully freed the fawn from the gap, and once it was free, the fawn quickly ran back to its mother. A group of people out for a morning walk spotted a buck stuck in a muddy water well. At first, a single man tried to pull it out, but the buck was too heavy. His friend joined in, and together they struggled to free the animal. After considerable effort, they managed to pull the buck out of the mud. Although it couldn't stand immediately, they gave it one final push, and the buck was finally free. It paused for a moment to look at the people who had helped, then ran off into the wild. Cats are curious creatures, and sometimes curiosity almost kills the cat. This cat, though not dead, got stuck in a metal bar window for days before being discovered by some kind people. The cat had hurt itself trying to break free, but it couldn't manage because the fence was too tight. Desperate to get free, the cat needed help. The only way to rescue it was by cutting the metal bar. To prevent further injury, they covered the cat before using the cutter. After carefully cutting through the bar, they freed the cat. They then gave it basic first aid and some food. Hopefully, with their care, the cat will recover fully. 11 horses fell through the ice on a frozen lake in Russia. Nearby locals rushed to save them, using every possible means to pull them out of the icy water. They used a crane for some and manpower for others. Miraculously, all 11 horses were rescued from the deadly cold water. The community ensured the horses received proper care and checked their health before releasing them back into the wild. The quick and selfless actions of these individuals saved the horses from a tragic fate. Deer and fences don't mix well, as shown by this poor deer stuck in a wired fence, struggling to get free. It had likely been trapped all night, exhausted, and possibly asking for human help. When a kind man found the deer, he carefully worked to free it. Even after being set free, the deer stayed close, allowing the man to pet it in a moment of mutual trust and gratitude. This heartwarming scene shows the deep bond that can form between humans and animals in times of need. This mama dog was abandoned by someone, and, to escape the cold weather, hid herself and her babies in a drain pipe. When she saw a man passing by, she approached him as if asking for help. The man petted her for a moment, then noticed movement near the drain pipe. It was her hungry puppies. He quickly put the dog in his van and went to rescue the puppies. After trying hard, he managed to get them out of the drainpipe with the help of a friend. The man brought the mother dog and her 3 puppies to his home, fed them, and later took them to a dog shelter where they could be adopted by a loving family. This bird in the water is called osprey, a skilled fish hunter. However, right now it seems helpless, soaked and unable to fly, just floating in the water. This bird belongs in the sky, but here it is vulnerable and in need of help. A group of boaters came across the osprey and decided to assist. A woman carefully helped it with a boating oar, ensuring not to frighten it. She stayed still, nervous that the osprey might scratch her face, and patiently waited as the bird dried its wings. After some time, the osprey regained its strength, took flight, and soared back to where it belonged. Pelicans are known for gulping down whole fish in one big gulp, but this one made a mistake and was choking on a fish. The fish wouldn't come out, and the pelican was in distress. A man noticed the struggling bird and carefully tried to remove the fish. To his surprise, he found a hook in the fish's mouth. Acting quickly and with great care, the man removed the fish and the hook, saving the pelican's life. This act of kindness ensured the pelican could fly away safely, free from danger. Here, we have a blue heron, its wing caught in a fishing line. Despite its efforts to fly away, it was trapped and struggling. Some fishermen saw the bird from afar and decided to help. They approached carefully, cut the fishing line, and set the heron free. The bird was finally able to spread its wings and fly away, thanks to their compassion and quick action. This night heron found itself in a dire situation, tangled in a fishing line and hanging helplessly. In its struggle to break free, the bird suffered minor injuries and broke a few feathers. Thankfully, it was freed from the fishing line, tended to its injuries, and released it back into the wild. Animals do indeed ask for help, like this thirsty eagle. Unable to find water, it approached a group of people, clearly seeking assistance. Understanding its need, they generously provided water, helping the eagle quench its thirst. A sea turtle was stuck upside down under the scorching sun for who knows how many hours. When a young guy spotted it, he quickly ran to help. Realizing the turtle was too heavy for him alone, he called his friend for assistance. Together, they managed to flip the turtle over and guide it back to the sea. Thanks to their quick action and teamwork, the turtle was saved and swam back into the ocean. A family behind their house heard strange noises and discovered a baby deer trapped inside a groundhog hole. No one knew how it ended up there, but they realized rescuing the deer without hurting it would be challenging. They carefully used a cutter to remove the roots around the hole and safely extracted the deer. Although the baby deer couldn't walk at first, it was unharmed and recovered after a few minutes. Another baby deer was found stuck in a sinkhole by some kind men. The deer was in a state of panic, struggling to escape when these people came to its aid. Though it resisted at first, they eventually managed to lift it out of the hole. Once freed, the baby deer ran straight into the forest, safe and sound. This video shows a couple of dogs abandoned in a locked cage after a devastating flood in North Carolina. The dogs were trapped, standing on their hind legs to avoid drowning in the rapidly rising floodwater. Their owners had fled the property to escape Hurricane Florence, leaving the dogs behind. A team of dedicated volunteers waded through knee-deep water to rescue the terrified, whimpering, and howling dogs. Thanks to their bravery and compassion, the dogs were saved from a dire situation. This must be one of the best videos today. A 16-year-old girl climbed onto a rooftop with her dog to escape a deadly flood. She waited there for 5 long hours, fearing for her life and thinking about how she might not survive. Finally, her brother arrived in a kayak to rescue her. Remarkably, she asked him to save her dog first and come back for her later. In the end, both she and her dog were rescued safely. She feels blessed to have her loyal companion by her side, grateful that they both survived the ordeal. A family spotted a bear cub precariously perched on thin branches of a tree. Their quick thinking helped protect the cub from falling or getting hurt. They quickly gathered a cloth to catch the cub. Dolphins can sometimes be washed ashore by powerful waves or hurricanes. This baby dolphin was stranded on the beach when a man noticed it. Acting quickly, he carefully grabbed the young heavy-sides dolphin and carried it back to the water. If he had been any later, the dolphin might not have survived. Cats stuck in trees is a classic story, and this kitten's situation was no different. It had been stranded on a 25-meter palm tree for 2 weeks. The locals, determined to save the little soul, acted like avengers to rescue it. They tried various methods, from ladders to slides, but nothing worked. Finally, after days of effort, they managed to lure the hungry kitten into a cage with food and water. Remarkably, the cat survived a week without food and water, perhaps a testament to the famous 9 lives myth. Bald eagles are well adapted to snow, but this one had been stuck in the same spot for so long that its tail became encased in ice. An observer noticed the bird's plight and called for help. Rescuers managed to capture the eagle and brought it to a warm place to melt the ice from its tail. The situation was severe, requiring hot water to free its feathers. They fed and cared for the eagle for 3 days, ensuring it was uninjured and could fly without any problems. Once it was ready, they released the majestic bird back into the skies, with hundreds of spectators gathered to witness the moment. This must have been a case of fishing gone wrong. An eagle was stuck in the water when a couple on an adventure found it. They got it out of the water and let it sit on their boat to dry its feathers. Eagles are majestic birds, but let me tell you, they don't look very majestic when they're wet. The couple waited for the eagle to dry off and even gave it a fish. As the eagle remained comfortable on their boat and wasn't flying away, they decided to give it a ride, which the bird seemed to enjoy. Later, they dropped it off on the shore in the sunlight to further dry its feathers.
Oh, you're standing on your tail. Get off your tail.
They gave it some more fish before leaving, and the eagle seemed fine, just a little wet. This one here went fishing in the mud. What could go wrong, right? But little did it know, it got stuck in the deep mud and needed to be rescued. After pulling it out, rescuers washed the mud off, but the eagle still couldn't fly. It seems the bird will need to spend some time in rehab to recover fully. Low flights near roads can lead to unfortunate situations like this one. A bald eagle got stuck in the grill of a pickup truck. When the driver noticed, they called for help from the sheriff's department. The eagle must have hurt its wings, as it couldn't fly properly. Deer think they can jump very high, like this one that tried to cross a 6-foot wooden fence and got itself stuck. A man noticed the struggling deer and rushed to help. He broke the wood, allowing the deer to free itself. Koalas are adorable Australian creatures, and this thirsty one couldn't find water anywhere. It approached a group of cyclists seeking help to quench its thirst. The cyclists, showing kindness, offered the koala water, satisfying its need and helping it stay hydrated. Foxes in urban areas often become quite friendly and aren't shy about asking for food when they can't find it elsewhere. This man fed a cute fox visitor eggs, and the fox returned later for more. He then gave it chicken, and soon the fox started visiting every day. The man continued to feed it, and the fox even began coming inside his home and waiting outside for its meals. It's a heartwarming story of human-animal friendship and generosity. During a huge storm, this man saw a bird with its chicks struggling to stay safe. Determined to help, he went out into the storm and brought the bird and its chicks inside his home to protect them from the harsh weather. His kindness ensured their safety and provided them a sanctuary from the storm. This woman was coming back from a hike when she heard a sheep bleating. She went to investigate and found the sheep stuck in the mud. Though the sheep was too heavy for her to lift out easily, she attempted to help by holding onto its horns. After a minute of struggling, she managed to free the sheep from the mud. The sheep couldn't walk right away, so she carefully dragged it away from the mud and into a nearby stream to wash it clean. As the sheep prepared to rejoin its flock, it looked at the woman with a sense of gratitude, as if saying, "Thank you for your kindness." When this fisherman went out on the water this weekend, he made an unexpected catch. He saw an animal swimming towards his boat and soon heard a meow. It was a kitten. He quickly dragged it out of the water. Moments later, he saw another kitten swimming towards him. He rescued this one too, and they looked like twins. With no houses for miles around, it seemed likely that someone had abandoned these poor kittens near the river. Thankfully, the fisherman found them just in time. A family later adopted the kittens, giving them a new, loving home. This poor fox cub was nearly strangled in a football net. It struggled so much that the net became tightly wrapped around its body. The situation was dire, and without the intervention of some kind-hearted individuals, the cub wouldn't have survived. The men carefully cut the net away from the fox, ensuring it didn't suffer any injuries or fractures. After a brief checkup to confirm it was unharmed, they released the fox back into the wild. An eagle, the king of the skies, found itself in a dire situation after a fishing attempt left it soaked and unable to fly. A man noticed the struggling bird and helped it reach the shore to dry its wings. The eagle, annoyed by the man's presence, flew away from him and perched on a boat to dry its wings in peace. Whales, the majestic giants of the sea, sometimes mistakenly beach themselves and face a tragic end. Fortunately for this whale, when it washed up on the beach, local people sprang into action. 30 dedicated individuals worked tirelessly for 28 hours to help the whale return to the water. Their efforts included bringing in a crane, which ultimately proved ineffective. In the end, they used a tugboat to drag the whale back into the ocean. It worked. The whale swam away, and the heroes who saved it waved, wishing it good luck. This baby raccoon was stuck in water for a long time when a man noticed and tried to rescue it with a stick, hoping the raccoon would grab it and climb up. When the raccoon didn't respond, the man quickly fetched a stick with a net to help. After a tense effort, he finally managed to get the raccoon out of danger. Animals with immense strength and powerful, sharp horns sometimes find themselves in difficult positions. This is exactly what happened to a poor kudu when it tried to jump a human-made fence and got stuck in it. A kind man came across the kudu and decided to help. Not knowing how long the animal had been trapped, he first gave it some water. Then, he attempted to cut the fence to free the kudu. After struggling to set it free, the man finally succeeded. The kudu quickly ran to the other side, disappearing into the jungle. This horse was stuck between two rocks, and some kind-hearted people noticed it from afar. The horse, desperate and visibly pleading for help, was in grave danger of dying. The sight was heart-wrenching. Fortunately, these compassionate men didn't hesitate. They rushed to its aid and began the arduous task of pulling the rocks away. After what felt like an eternity, they finally freed the horse from its near-fatal predicament. In a touching moment, the horse remained close by, its eyes full of gratitude, almost as if it was silently saying, "Thank you for saving my life." Humans can be careless, but some things are unforgivable. A man left his dog in a car for several hours, and with the windows closed, the temperature inside the car quickly rose to dangerous levels. The dog was on the brink of death when a police officer noticed and broke the window to rescue it. The condition of the dog was truly heart-wrenching. The officer gave the dog cold water and proper first aid before taking it to an animal shelter where it received the care it desperately needed. This act of kindness saved the dog's life. This happened in India when a leopard cub fell into a water well. Locals noticed the cub and quickly called for a rescue team. Upon arrival, the team confirmed the cub was just 5 months old. To help it climb out, they lowered a cot into the well near the cub. The cub climbed onto the cot, and the rescuers slowly pulled it up. When it reached a certain height, the cub jumped out and fled the spot without hurting anyone or getting hurt itself. Leopards are very common in India, and this one got its head stuck inside a water pot. Villagers noticed the distressed feline but were too scared to approach due to the animal's potentially deadly nature. In the end, they decided to tie it with ropes to remove the pot from its head. Officials tranquilized the leopard to safely assist in the rescue effort. This is a king cobra, one of the most venomous snake in the world, and right now it is thirsty. Here, a couple of brave Indian folks are feeding it water to quench its thirst. After ensuring it had enough to drink, they released it back into the wild. How far would you go for your furry friends? In Florida, a man showed incredible bravery when he rescued his puppy from the jaws of an alligator. Without hesitation, he dived into the water and wrestled the reptile, all while keeping the cigar in his mouth. This 74-year-old hero was walking his beloved pet around a pond near his retirement home when the alligator suddenly lunged from the water and grabbed the dog. the puppy suffered a small puncture wound to its stomach, while the man's hands were chewed up. Despite the ordeal, he doesn't want the alligator removed, saying, "They're part of nature and part of our lives." That is it for today. Which one of these wonderful heroes did you like the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content like this. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.